I would like to reiterate that during the last year's conference we had 32 countries participating at the event. This year the number of countries that are participating virtually is over 120, which actually underscores or underlines the statements made by Prime Minister Andrej Babiš and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo that this is a truly global event. Without further ado, I would like to ask for the opening remarks of Peter Dutton, the Minister for Home Affairs from Australia.
I thank the Czech Republic for the invitation to speak today and for their leadership in convening this valuable conference. Australia welcomes the opportunity to contribute to the conference and the online repository. This is a valuable opportunity to share our understanding of the strategic environment and to generate momentum to shape a more secure global technology ecosystem. Technology is advancing at a rapid pace, and the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the digitisation of a range of sectors, emphasising the reliance of all economies on secure and stable connectivity. It also highlights the need to ensure our supply chains are more resilient and secure, particularly for the critical technologies our societies will come to rely on in the future, like 5G. 5G networks will underpin economies and other crucial infrastructure. It will help enable our internet-connected devices, our self-driving cars, and our smart cities. All countries should be able to reap the benefits of this leap forward in telecommunications. And the private sector, not just governments, are key in shaping how it is made and used for good or bad. Every government's first responsibility is national security and the safety of its people. For the same reason that we don't let criminals go unpoliced on our streets, we won't let those who want to disrupt or degrade the infrastructure our societies rely on to have a free pass. As our societies become more connected with 5G, the cyber threat environment will continue to become more complex. With increased connectivity, our nations will be more exposed than ever. And we want to make sure that whether it's the threat of espionage or being made more susceptible to disruption through those telecommunications networks, that we're effective in dealing with that threat. It's also likely to enable criminals to operate at a greater speed, scale and sophistication. This increased risk necessitated Australia to take strong action to secure our future 5G networks. And that's why this year I released Australia's 2020 Cyber Security Strategy, outlining how we will work to secure our systems and networks. And the Australian Government will invest $1.67 billion to achieve the strategy's vision of a more secure online world for Australians, their businesses and the essential services upon which we all depend. This is the largest ever Australian Government commitment to keeping Australians secure online. Australia has a robust system to ensure the security of its critical infrastructure. We continue to enhance this system because Australia's future security, our sovereignty and our economic prosperity relies on it. The Australian Government will introduce an enhanced regulatory framework that will deliver an uplift to critical infrastructure security and resilience. And the Australian Government is determined that the significantly different architecture of 5G required a different approach to managing national security risks. These risks ultimately led to the Australian Government detailing its expectations with respect to the involvement of third-party vendors in 5G networks, including the evolution of networks leading to mature 5G networks. We used our system of protections to ensure that Australia's 5G network will not be delivered by vendors who may be subject to extrajudicial directions from a foreign government that is in conflict with Australian law. Australia's security controls for 5G networks are not targeted at particular countries or companies and were determined following a comprehensive and objective review of the national security risks unique to 5G networks in Australia, including their attractiveness as targets for espionage, sabotage and foreign interference activity. I strongly believe that all countries should consider the significant strategic and long-term implications of decisions about critical technologies like 5G. In making these tough decisions, we also need to ensure that 5G and the next series of critical technologies are safe. Some nations are taking strategic action, using a range of legitimate and illegitimate tools to dominate critical technologies and to distort the global technology ecosystem to benefit their domestic players. As we look to the next generation of telecommunications networks and other technologies, such as smart cities and artificial intelligence, we need to ensure that there are viable, secure and trusted suppliers in the global technology ecosystem. A diverse and competitive market of secure and trusted suppliers is a necessity for the long-term security and prosperity of our economies. The private sector needs strong signals from government that we will prioritise security, trust and openness in the market. And through collective action with international partners, we can address our shared challenges. By working together, we can shape a trusted technology ecosystem characterised by diversity, transparency and security by design. This will serve every nation's interests and support our collective security, prosperity and digital innovation. Our objective is straightforward and we are committed to lifting the security of critical technologies like 5G and to support the Prague proposals. I welcome this initiative and further cooperation between nations through the Prague 5G Security Conference. Thank you very much.